Hello dear students, welcome back again to the next lecture of JandK Reorganization Act 2019. This is the second lecture which we are doing on it. We are breaking it into parts because it's a large section. It has almost 103 sections. And now we have already discussed part 1 and part 2. This is the part 3rd and we are going to start right now, okay? So the part 3rd and part 3rd has almost 40 something sections, and it goes from 8 to 57 and it's the longest part, okay? And it is named as representation in legislatures, okay? And its section 8 is about amendment of the fourth schedule of Constitution of India, as this fourth schedule is of original constitution and it discusses about allocation of seats in Rajya Sabha, okay? Or it's called also Council of States, because Rajya Sabha is also called Council of States, okay? So simply section 8 tells us about amendment to fourth schedule, okay? So section 9, very important, tells us allocation of sitting members, okay? It means 4 seats will be given to the UT of Jammu and Kashmir in Rajya Sabha and no seat to the Ladakh in Rajya Sabha, okay? 4 seats only to JandK in the Rajya Sabha as per the JandK Reorganization Act, and also talks about the term of a Rajya Sabha member, that is 6 years, which you must know in polity, and it's as per the Representation of Peoples Act 1951, okay? So section 9 tells us about or talks about allocation of sitting members, which tells us 4 seats to Rajya Sabha, 4 seats to Rajya Sabha to the duty of JandK. Section 10 is the representation in the House of People, means Lok Sabha. It means 5 seats will be given to UT of JandK in Lok Sabha and 1 seat to the UT of Ladakh in Lok Sabha. Section 11 talks about delimitation of parliamentary constituencies order of 1976. Not that important, but if you want to remember, that's good, because you never know what comes in the exam, okay? Section 11 says that it shall be amended, but the thing is that's important is that election commission can still conduct elections of both Jammu and Kashmir UT and Ladakh UT as per the delimitation of parliamentary constituencies order of 1976, okay? So this is section 11. Section 12 is very important as it tells us about the sitting members, okay? I've simplified it for you because this was a bit tricky, and I will try to explain you with as easiness as possible, because I'm going to read it first. So first it tells that every sitting member of Lok Sabha from UT of JandK and Ladakh shall remain appointed according to section 10 of JandK Reorganization Act 2019 in their constituencies with no change in boundary. It means first you need to know section 10. Section 10 is number of seats given to a particular UT in the Lok Sabha. Then it tells if you got a seat, okay, and you are kind of guiding a constituency, or you are the head of a constituency, then before you it used to be in the state, it will be definitely continuing the same in terms of UT. Now there will be no boundary change in the constituency boundary inside the UT will be remaining same both in UT of JandK as well as UT of Ladakh. So this is as simple as possible, okay? No change in the boundary structure in a particular constituency, okay? So this was section 12. Now section 13 tells us applicability of the article 239A to Jammu and Kashmir also. See, article 239A was before applicable to Puducherry only, okay? Puducherry, which is a union territory, okay? Now this article will be applied or applicable to Jammu and Kashmir also. This is section 13, very important, okay? Now moving to the section 14. Section 14 is very important because it tells about the composition of UT of Jammu and Kashmir's Legislative Assembly, okay? Now here are many subsections. For example, subsection 1 of section 14 tells us about article 239, that is that there will be a lieutenant governor of UT of Jammu and Kashmir. Second subsection tells us that there will be a legislative assembly. Third subsection tells us that there will be total number of 107 seats in the legislative assembly, but this will change here. I will tell you how, because next section tells us that 24 will be vacant for POK, which will not be counted until it is purely occupied by Pakistan, sorry. So till then, delimitation commission has to exclude these seats from it. So when we will exclude these seats, there will be 83 seats remaining. Now after the recent 2021's delimitation commission's decision, now 7 more seats are added, means presently we have 90 seats remaining for as State Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir, okay, of the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the present scenario. I hope you understood this. Next section tells about reservation to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, okay, and this next section tells us that this reservation will be based on the population, and the population will be counted from the last census. There has not been a recent census, so the last census will be from 2011, okay. This is easy. So simply remember that it talks about the composition of Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. Which section? Section 14, okay. Moving to the section 15, very easy. Section 15 tells us that Lieutenant Governor can nominate 2 women members as Legislative Assembly's member in case of need, okay. Section 16 tells us that qualification of a member of Legislative Assembly. See, qualification of member of Legislative Assembly, you must know this if you have studied polity. He must be a citizen of India, okay. That is the first qualification. Second is that he should not be less than 25 years old, okay. At least he should be 25 years old. And the third is whatever the parliament may decide and whatever law the parliament brings at that time, that law will be applicable and counted as the qualification as a member of Legislative Assembly, okay. Now section 16 is done. Section 17 tells us about duration of Legislative Assembly, which you know is 5 years, and it can be stretched again to a 1 year, okay, if decided, but this has to be done likewise. So 1 year, then again 1 year, then again 1 year, okay. Section 18 tells us about sessions of Legislative Assembly, its prorogation and its dissolution, okay. So section first, or the subclause first of section 18 tells that LG can or LG has to summon the first session of every or the first session of Legislative Assembly, okay, has to summon. And second subclause says that he can also dissolve it or prorogue it from time to time whenever he feels necessary, okay. So this was section 18. Section 19 tells us about speaker and deputy speaker, okay. Speaker and deputy speaker. Simply its first section tells that there shall be a speaker and deputy speaker, and who has to choose them, who has to nominate them? Legislative Assembly itself will nominate them among its members, any 2 members, okay, as speaker and deputy speaker, okay. And in case if a speaker or deputy speaker ceases to be a member of Legislative Assembly, he has to vacate, or he or she has to vacate the same post, okay. And resignation, about resignation, this is important. Speaker or deputy speaker is resignation is tricky because they don't give resignation to president. If speaker has to resign, he has to give resignation to deputy speaker, and if deputy speaker has to resign, he has to give resignation to speaker. So remember it like that, guys, okay, simply. So subsection C tells us that if you have to remove the speaker or deputy speaker, he has to be removed by the majority of all the members, okay. There shall be all the members, and by majority he has to be removed, and to do that you have to send 14 days advance notice to deputy speaker or speaker, okay. And the third subclause says that if speaker is vacant, deputy speaker has to hold his duty, okay. And fourth subclause says that if both are absent, then assembly will choose speaker and deputy speaker from its members. If they are also absent, then the Legislative Assembly of the state has to choose accordingly, okay. And also the salaries and allowances of these 2 are decided by Legislative Assembly and the Lieutenant Governor, okay. And the last section which we are going to discuss today is section 20, which talks about speaker and deputy speaker not to preside when the resolution is in process, okay. When LA, that is Legislative Assembly, is being resolved, okay, it means there shall not be any session held by speaker or deputy speaker. So that's it for today. I hope you have understood this. I'm going to bring more parts of this. We're going to complete all the Reorganization Act, and if you find difficulty in any kind of a section, just do inform me in the comment box. I will try to explain the same. Just study, keep studying, and focus on positive things and do positive things in life. And I'll see you in the next session. Thank you for watching.